Let me hold it. Hey, yo, as I look around this room, if you're 35 years old or younger, raise your hand. 4 people. So here's the thing. Y'all in trouble. Yesterday you had Al Green up here talking about we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, and then that's going to include what he said was reparations, which, by the way, wasn't reparations. Reparations is more than a check, but the very first thing it is a check. And come this year during the midterms and in 2028, if you don't have our check, you won't get no vote. No check, no vote. Yeah, I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what's happening. All of y'all in here, with all due respect, you're beautiful, but you're old. You're not talking to the youth. You don't know how to talk to the youth. You're trying to tell us what to do. We're not having it no more. So if you want our vote, you got to come with our paper. We're not scared of Trump. We're not scared of anybody. Biden is a racist. Trump is a racist. Kamala is a racist. And if you don't have our money, you don't get our vote. Yeah, not. Who are you? Oh, all right, yeah, so like I was saying, I'm going to land my plane right there, but the Democrats are no better than the Republicans. No check, no vote.
My mouth is kind of dry, so forgive me if I'm smacky. Yeah, I didn't bring any water on a little walk. So, but now I'm back. And this will be a quick argument, really, about why Melrose Mike is right. It's not, I don't think he's optimal, the strategy to not vote. But I'm not even sure if you can bake that no vote couch completely into what he's saying. Because he's saying you don't get our vote, not necessarily that I'm going to stay home. It's just that doubles to some extent as a down ballot argument, really just a down ballot argument. It means that, and it could as an up ballot argument, and I'll tell you how. And the reason why it could be an up ballot argument is why it's a good argument, and I'd say the Roland Martins are wrong, because what they're saying is we need to get, I'll even stillman Roland Martin's argument. We need progressive, pro-reparations Democrats in office. Okay, if I stillman the argument, you're not running progressive, pro-reparations Democrats in the way that they would need to be to where you would deserve our vote. Otherwise, like, we'll back off, maybe down ballot, maybe couch, maybe third party, maybe Republican. But you're not there to the point where I'll check that. You already have people who are there, like Wes Moore, Gavin Newsom, that are either sabotaging through people or voting directly against reparations. And I don't care who's in the White House, if you have, especially with Gavin Newsom, but even with Trump there, Trump or Biden, you can say, hey, this is too much for California to afford. But they're descendants of goddamn slavery in our country, in our state. And we had a small period of slavery in our history where you could take your slave there and we wouldn't free them. You could have them doing things. And they've got other like, California made a case for reparations that to the older generation who had been there longer all their life, they would have been looking at close to $1 million. Like, when I have a lot of family in California, when I did the math, I'm like, yo, Gavin Newsom, I could say he cost my family $40 million. 42. I could say that. Or he's part of the process. He didn't push back against it, because he could have went to Biden and said, we can't afford this. We need federal funds. So if we're out of the equation, let's say we're not voting for feckless. Like Democrats like Biden, who I heard make one pro-reparations argument in his life, one anti-reparations argument he made way back. So it's not his concern. He talks about the things he values. He doesn't value this because he's comfortable in a racial caste system, even if it was engineered by human rights violations. That's who he is. That's who Obama is. That's who the top of the Democratic Party is. And what more can I expect from people that take money from Israel? Like, if you're wishy-washy on a genocide, you're probably not going to be bothered heavily by the racial caste that was engineered by human rights violations, many of them in your lifetime. You're not going to be bothered by it. I can't expect you to be bothered by it if you're cool with genocide, if you're supporting it. So Melrose Mike is making the case that we'll just let you lose. And for now, at least, the Republican, and I would say the far right, the monkey right, the idiot right, has no real end goal but to race hustle and be corrupt and make money and bounce. That seems to be their thing. Now you have a segment that want better government, but the moment you want better government, whether you're Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you want competent government, you start moving to the middle. Well, if we bow out, we can just let them battle each other, and some things will get worse. Maybe some things will get better. You can make an argument that we've closed borders better. I don't even know if you can make the argument that Trump has really deported more illegal immigrants. I have a feeling there might be a diminishing returns thing because, and it might be that Republicans are cheap. Maybe Obama deported more immigrants because he wasn't as cheap and it was fresher and there, before diminishing returns kicked in. I don't know. So I don't even put that much value on that. I'm more glad that Trump closed the borders. I am, when it comes to immigration, I am to the left and to the right of like the standard ADOS person, whether you're talking about any descendant of slavery or you're talking about foundational Black synonymous descendant of slavery, or I should say the ADOS Foundation. Either way, it's funny that like I'm just now noticing that ADOS Foundation and foundational Black both have foundation in it. How did I just now notice that? Well, dislike this video because I'm a jackass. But anyhow, if I tell you to dislike it, you probably won't do either. But either way, I think it's good if you fall hard in the algorithm, you'll bounce back up high. So I'm good with either way. But regardless, whatever person you're talking about in general, be it the lineage or the foundation, I'm to the left and to the right of them in aggregate when it comes to immigration, because I'm like to the left where I'm like, well, where are the animals going to live? Why, if we have a high population, we have to have more livestock, and that's bad for global warming. We should have a lower population. We shouldn't have all these workers here. Like, let AI do that. We need to shift the labor market. So I'm lower the population dude. I'm not bring in people dude. I'm not open borders, but I'm from that standpoint, it's really left-wing values on why I'm against immigration. I'm a job protectionist, an old school job protectionist. So that's where I'm at. It's not that I'm okay with the people that are here. If you come here and you're American And some of them who are working to be an American, whatever, I would say give them some money and let them go. If they got a lot of family here, especially if they got kids here, then we can talk. But other than that, you get the boot, but you can get a parting gift. And I'm okay spending money in other countries to build things that benefit the neighbor, that benefits the neighbor. And as long as it's eventually paid back to the U.S., I'm okay going all around the world doing that. Money spent outside of the U.S. is less expensive in terms of inflation. So I'm to the left and in some ways maybe to the right of the mainstream on immigration. But regardless, if we end up with a cycle of Trumps and Masseys and Carlsons and whatever spit, we go back to a neocon, go back to a race hustling neocon like Trump or whatever fascists we have, whatever, there's going to be a pushback to where, at least in these upcoming midterms, they're going to lose. The fascists are going to lose. They're going to push them out. And it's so strong that it really doesn't even matter so much what Black Americans do. Unless we're like ridiculously uncode, which we're not going to be this soon. There's too many people that just hate Trump. But I'm saying that even if we were like 70% voted, only 70% who voted Democrat with a small turnout, and I'd say the midterms look good for the Democrats regardless. So with a Democratic Congress, you can win without the Black American vote. So you can then do what Gavin Newsom and Wes Moore failed to do and say, hey, we're just a state. We can't pay for this. Trump, impeach him. Impeach Trump. Grill the person that you're replacing them with on reparations and say, hey, we're going to send some bills to you. If you do all of this, I think that passes what Melrose Mike was saying. And how come Melrose Mike sounds like the YN Howard? They just seem to have the same cadence to me.
Howard was being arrested for breaking into Food is the perfect example of
Hey, put my jacket on, man. It's cold out here. Do I get that favor?
Do what?
Can I get a favor?
You got it. You got it on.
Stupid ass.
The ending is too much.
Say, man, I'm killing you when I get out. You and your little punk brothers and that nigga there. And you don't believe you don't believe that I do something to you, ass little sissy ass cousin or brother, whatever you. He ain't nothing but a punk himself.
You run into my car, you can stop and talk to me, man.
Hey, that's right, nigga. I got the handcuffs on too.
I'm not talking to you, baby. What do you say about
Bitch raised mother.
Chased you, Howard.
Ain't nobody chase me, nigga. You crazy.
You don't have our check, you won't get no vote. No check, no vote. Yeah, I know that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what's happening. All of y'all in here, with all due respect, you're beautiful, but you're old. You're not talking to the youth. You don't know how to talk to the youth. You're trying to tell us what to do. We're not having it no more. So if you want our vote, you got to come with our paper. We're not scared of Trump. We're not scared of anybody. Biden is a racist. Trump is a racist. Kamala is a racist. And if you don't have our money, you don't get our vote. Yeah, who are you? Oh, all right, yeah, so like I was saying, I'm gonna land my plane right there, but the Democrats are no better than the Republicans. No check, no vote.
But that's why I'm thinking he's right. You could argue and say he's wrong that we need to vote him in first. But I'm saying if you just sit back, the Republicans are such a mess when they go to the far right. All they know is a honky hustle. All they know is some neocon stuff. All they know is some regressive wealth redistribution. That's where they go. And that's never going to be super popular. And there's going to be a snapback with the Black American vote, strong or without. Eventually, it'll be that bad. Eventually, they'll lose white people. And if all during that time you haven't figured out how to make the easiest argument in the history of politics for people who are just a conveyor belt victim of human rights violations since before the nation's birth to your lifetime, if you can't make that argument, well, then you can just be part of the cycle and be on the wrong side of history. I'm thinking, I'm optimistic. I'm thinking, given the time, you can figure it out. But when I look at the presidential candidates for 2028, it is booty yama. It is horrible. So when I see those presidential candidates, I'm like, well, they're not there yet. So if they're not there yet, this is the garbage that you're tossing out, then you can't say Melrose Mike is wrong. Because with this garbage, we're saying, hey, we can vote overwhelming Democrat. We can join the blue wave in heavy force. And you're still presenting this as the leadership of your party. So, yeah, I mean, props to Melrose Mike. I might not be exactly where he is, but he's still right.